Hello students, let's do ratio and proportion. We are with exercise 7a and page number 97. We are continuing from question 13. 10 grams of an alloy of metals A and B contains 7.5 gram of metal A and the rest is metal B. Find the ratio between the weights of metals A and B in the alloy. So let's start. The weight of the alloy is given to us in the question. It's 10 grams. The weight of metal A is also given to us. It's 7.5 grams. Now, weight of metal B, first we need to take 10 grams, that is the weight of the alloy, and subtract the weight of metal A from it. When we subtract, we will get the weight of metal B. So let's do that subtraction. 10 grams minus 7.5 grams. Now, whenever we do subtraction of decimals, we need to first make them like decimals and then do the subtraction. Now, 0 minus 5 we can't do, so we borrow. Again, we need to borrow. So this is 0, 10, which becomes 9 and 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, decimal point. 9 minus 7 is 2. So the weight of metal B is 2.5 grams. Now we have been asked to find the ratio between metals A and B. So what is the weight of metal A? 7.5 grams and metal B is 2.5 grams. So to find the ratio, first we put them in the fraction form. Now since both are decimals, we are going to change them to whole numbers. We can change them to whole numbers only if we move the point to the right by one place. And we can move them to the right only when we multiply by 10. So let me multiply both by 10. So now I get 75 by 25 because the point has moved one place to the right. Now I need to reduce these to the lowest term. I have to divide both by a common factor, and the common factor here is 25. You can also divide it by 5. Now 25 into 3 is 75 and 25 into 1 is 25. So my fraction is 3 by 1. When I put it as a ratio, it becomes 3:1. So the ratio between the weights of metals A and B in the alloy is 3:1. Next question, we have to find the ratio between the weight of metal B and the weight of the alloy. So, weight of the alloy, which was given to us in the question, is 10 grams. Weight of metal B, which we found out, was 2.5 grams. Now, to find the ratio between metal and the weight of the alloy, first let's take the weight of metal B, which is 2.5 grams, is to weight of the alloy, which is 10 grams. So first step is we have to write it as a fraction. Let's change the numerator, which is 2.5. We'll change it to a whole number. We'll move it the point one place to the right. So for that, we need to multiply by 10. When you multiply the numerator by 10, you have to multiply the denominator also by 10. So 2.5 into 10 is 25. 10 into 10 is 100. So we've got 25 by 100. Now to reduce it to the lowest term, think of a common factor which can divide both these numbers. You can divide it by 5. You can also divide it by 25 itself. So let me divide both by 25. So 25 ones are 25 and 25 fours are 100. So the fraction form is 1 by 4 and the ratio form is 1:4. So the ratio between the weight of metal B and the weight of the alloy is 1:4. Question 14. The ages of two boys A and B are 6 years, 8 months and 7 years, 4 months. That means this is the age of boy A and this is the age of boy B. Divide 3,150 rupees in the ratio of their ages. So let's start. What is the age of boy A? It is 6 years and 8 months. Let's convert it to months. Let's convert the whole thing to months to make our working easier. So 1 year has 12 months. We know that. So 6 years will have 12 into 6. 6 twos are 12, carry 1, 6 ones are 6 plus 1, 7. 72 months, and let's add this 8 months also to it, plus 8 makes it 80. Okay, so we have converted the age of the boy to 80 months. Now let's do the same thing with boy B. So the age of boy B is given to us as 7 years and 4 months. So this also, let's convert it to months, everything to months. So let's take that 7 years and 4 months. So 1 year is 12 months. So 7 years will be 7 into 12. 2 sevens are 14, carry 1, 1 sevens are 7 plus 1, 8. 84 months. Now let's add this also to it. Plus 4 months will make it 88 months. So that is 88 months. So we have converted the ages to months. Now we need to find the ratio of their ages. So that will be 80 months is to 88 months. So first step is we write it as a fraction, 80 by 88. Now we're going to divide it with a common factor to reduce it to the lowest term. Let's divide it by 8. So that becomes 8 tens are 80 and 8 elevens are 88. So the ratio of their ages is 10 is to 11. Now we have been asked to divide a certain amount in the ratio of this, that is their ages 10 is to 11. So we have to find the sum of their ratios. So let's find the sum of their ratios. 10 plus 11 is 21, and then we continue since the sum of their ratios is 21 and the total amount is rupees 3,150. Okay, now how did we get the sum of the ratios? We did 10 plus 11 and we got 21, isn't it? Now the amount boy A gets will be, we're going to use this part of the ratios 10 and then we're going to calculate. So let's start. 10 by the sum of the ratios, that's 21, multiplied by the amount 3,150. So let's multiply this and see. We can cancel 21 and 3,150 by 3. So let's do that. 3 sevens are 21. Then here 3 ones are 3. Then 0. Then 15. So 3 fives are 15 and we put the 0. So now we've got this. We can still continue with our cancelling. We can cancel 7 and 1050 by 7 itself. Okay. So let me reduce that. 7 ones are 7. Now here also 7 ones are 7. I have 3 remaining. So that makes it 35. 35 is 7 fives are 35 and I take the 0. So now I have 150 there. So in my numerator, I have 10 into 150 and in my denominator, I have 1. So 10 into 150 is, you write 150 into 10, you add one more 0. So that makes it 1,500 by 1. Now we're talking about the amount the boy gets. So the amount that the boy gets is rupees. Rupees 1,500 because 1,500 by 1 is 1,500. So now that we know how much the boy A gets, we can find out how much boy B gets. We can do it in two different ways. Just like we did 10 by 21 into 3150, we can take the second number, that is 11, and do 11 by 21 into 3150. A simpler way is take the total amount, that is 3150, and subtract the amount that the boy A gets. So boy A gets 1500. When you subtract the two, that is the amount that boy B gets. So this is the easier way, and let's do that. 3150 minus 1500. 0, 5. Now 1 minus 5 you can't, so you borrow. 11 minus 5 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1650. So the amount boy B gets is rupees 1650. Now you can check your answers. How can you check? You can add up the amount the boy A gets and boy B gets. When you add it up, you must get the total amount. Okay, so we have found our answers. Amount boy A gets is 1500 and amount boy B gets is 1650. Question 3. Question 15. Three persons start a business and spend 25,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees and 40,000 rupees respectively. Find the share of each out of a profit of 14,400 rupees in a year. Okay, so three of them are starting a business. This is what the first person spent, second person spent, and the third person spent. That's why we have this word respectively. Now find the share of each. So let's start. Amount the first person spends is 25,000 rupees. Okay. Amount the second person spends is 15,000 rupees. Amount the third person spends is 40,000 rupees. Okay, so this we know. Now let's first find the ratio of the investment. Investment is how much they have put into the business, each one. So to find the ratio of all three, now let's take the numbers alone. 25,000 is to 15,000 is to 40,000. Okay, now we need to reduce it to the lowest term. Now we can cancel the zeros. There are 3, 1, 2, 3. Cancel the zeros for all the numbers, 3 zeros. Okay, only 3 zeros. Now we have 25 is to 15 is to 40. All three numbers are divisible by 5. They're all divisible by 5. So if I have to divide 25 by 5, 15 by 5 and 40 by 5, what do I get? I will get 25 fives are 25 is to, second one, 5 threes are 15 is to 5 eights are 40. So my ratio is 5 is to 3 is to 8. Then I need to find the sum of their ratios, that is 5 plus 3 plus 8. So 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay, so far I hope you have understood. I have found the sum of their ratios. Now I need to find the share of each, isn't it? So let's continue. So sum of their ratios is 5 plus 3 plus 8, which is 16. Now, what was the profit? Profit given to us in the question is 14,400 rupees. From this, we need to find how much each of them got. So the first person's share will be, take this first number 5 divided by the sum of the ratios 16 and multiply it by the profit, which is 14,400. So let's see what we can cancel here. Let's cancel 16 and 14,400 by 4. 4 4s are 16. Here 4 3s are 12. 13, 14 2s remaining. 4 6s are 24. 0 and 0. I can again cancel by 4. 4 1s are 4. 4 9s are 36 and the zeros. So in my numerator, I have 5 into 900. So 5 nines are 45, and then I add both the zeros for 4,500 by 1. So the profit of the first person is rupees 4,500. Okay, so we found the share of the first person. Now let's find the share of the second person in the same way. Take the second number, that is 3, and divide it by the sum of the ratios and multiply it by 14,400. Now we can cancel it straight away. 16 ones are 16, and 16 into 900 will give us 14,400. In the previous one, we did it in 2 steps. Now we can do it in 1 step. Now let's multiply. Okay, 3 nines are 27. Add the 2 zeros. Denominator is 1. So the share of the second person is 2,700 rupees. Let's find the share of the third person. Take the third number, which is 8, divide it by the sum of the ratios and multiply it by 14,400. Again, you can cancel it with 16. So this into 9. Now let's multiply. This becomes 9 and then 900 because of the 2 zeros. So now let's multiply the numerators. 8 nines are 72. Add the 2 zeros and denominator is 1. So the third person gets a share of 7,200 rupees. He gets a maximum because he invested the most, isn't it? Now, this is your answer. We have the share of the first person, share of the second person, and share of the third person. Again, you can check your answer by adding up all these. Your answer should be 14,400. Question 16. A plot of land 600 square meter in area is divided between 2 persons such that the first person gets 3/5 of what the second gets. Okay, so area of a plot of land 600 square meter. Okay, now let the share of the second person be x. We'll take the share of the second person because we don't know. We'll take that to be x. So the share of the first person is 3/5 of x, isn't it? That's what it says. It says 3/5 of what the second gets. So this will be 3 by 5 into x, or simply 3x by 5. Okay, we'll continue. Now the ratio between the shares of the first person and the second person. How much will the first person get and how much will the second person get? So the first person is 3x by 5 is 2, and the second person's share is x, isn't it? Now a ratio is division. So we'll write the same thing as division. 3x by 5 divided by x by 1, which is 3x by 5 into 1 by x. Okay, now it's become multiplication of fractions. We can cancel whatever we can. I can cancel the x. That's it. Now what is left is 3 ones are 3 and 5. So I have 3 by 5. So here I've been asked about ratio. The ratio will be 3:5. Okay, now we need to find the share of each person. How much did each person get? So for that, we have to first find the sum of the ratios. That will be 3 plus 5 equals 8. So now we're going to continue with this. 3 plus 5 equals 8. So the sum of the ratios, we're going to use that. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Then the share of the first person will be 3 by 8 into 600. 600 is what we were given in the question itself, isn't it? Okay, now we can cancel whatever we can here. I can cancel 8 and 600 by 8. Okay, 8 ones are 8. Now here 60, 8 sevens are 56. but this is 60. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So that makes it 40. And 8 5s are 40. So we have 3 into 75. This is the share of the first person. So let's multiply 75 into 3. 3 5s are 15, carry 1. 3 7s are 21 plus 1, 22. So the first person gets 225 square meters. The unit is square meters. Now we can find the share of the second person in two ways. Just like we did 3 by 8 into 600, we can take the second number 5 by 8 into 600 and we can get it. Now the easier way is take the plot area, that is 600 square meters. This is the area of the whole plot, and minus the share of the first person from it, which is 225 square meters. When you subtract the two, what is remaining is the share of the second person. So let's subtract 600 minus 225. Let's borrow 5. 10 is 9. 10 again. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have got 375 square meters as the share of the second person. 375 square meters. So now we have found the share of the first person to be 225 square meters and the share of the second person as 375 square meters. Again, you can check the answer. You can add up the two shares. It must come up to 600, the area of the plot. Okay, so with this, children, we will stop for now. In our next video, we will continue with the other sums. Thank you, children.